All right, listen up, folks. Shannon Sharp here, and we're diving deep into this LaMelo Ball trade buzz. Miami Heat throwing their hat in the ring, talking about sending Rozier, Ware, Highsmith, and 2 first-rounders for LaMelo. Man, that's a spicy meatball right there. But let me tell you something. This ain't about just throwing names and picks around. This is about the heart of a franchise, the soul of a rebuild, and whether the Charlotte Hornets are ready to throw in the towel. First off, let's get one thing straight. LaMelo Ball is a star. He's that dude. 25.8 points, 7 assists, 5.3 rebounds on a team that, let's be real, looks like they're playing with one hand tied behind their back. That's all-star level production in a situation that's, to put it mildly, less than ideal. You see that creativity, that flair? That's not something you find every day. It's a generational talent trying to lift a team on his back, and frankly, they ain't giving him much to work with. Now I understand the frustration. Charlotte's been spinning its wheels for years. Ever since Kemba left, it's been a rebuild that feels like a never-ending loop. But trading LaMelo? That's not hitting the reset button. That's ripping out the motherboard and throwing the whole damn computer in the trash. You don't trade your franchise player when you're looking for answers. You build around him. That's basketball 101. Let's break down this proposed trade, shall we? Terry Rozier. Look, I respect Rozier. He's a solid player, a veteran who can score, but is he a franchise cornerstone? Nah. Is he going to elevate the Hornets to contender status? Not even close. He's a good piece, but he ain't the main course. Kelly Ware, the rookie? Intriguing, sure. Potential? Absolutely. But potential is just that. Potential. It's a gamble. You're trading a proven star for a maybe. You're betting on a lottery ticket when you already have a winning hand. That's a sucker's bet, if you ask me. Haywood Highsmith? A solid role player, a glue guy. Every team needs those, but Highsmith ain't moving the needle. He's not the kind of player you build a franchise around. He's a complementary piece, not a centerpiece. And those 2 first-round picks? Don't even get me started. Draft picks are like lottery tickets. You might hit the jackpot, or you might end up with a bust. You're trading a sure thing for a couple of maybes. That's a recipe for disaster. Look, the Hornets have something special in LaMelo. He's the kind of player who can electrify a crowd, sell tickets, and make your team relevant. But they're wasting his talent. They're surrounding him with guys who can't shoot, can't defend, and can't take the pressure off him. They're asking him to do everything, and that's not fair to him, and it's not fair to the fans. Instead of trading LaMelo, how about we try something crazy? How about we give him some actual teammates? How about we find some guys who can knock down open shots, play some defense, and take some of the load off his shoulders? How about we build a team that complements his skills instead of forcing him to carry the entire weight? I know, it's easier said than done, but that's what rebuilding is all about. It's about finding the right pieces, developing young talent, and building a culture of winning. It's not about throwing in the towel and starting over every few years. The Hornets need to commit to something. They need to pick a direction and stick with it. And that direction should be building around LaMelo Ball. He's the future of this franchise. He's the guy who can lead them back to relevance, but they need to give him the tools to succeed. Think about it. Every successful team has a star, a franchise player, a guy who can take over a game. The Lakers had Kobe. The Spurs had Duncan. The Warriors have Steph. The Hornets have LaMelo, but they're not using him right. They're not maximizing his potential. They need to find a coach who can develop young players and create a winning culture. They need to find a general manager who can identify talent and make smart trades. They need to build a roster that complements LaMelo's skills and strengths. And most importantly, they need to be patient. Rebuilding takes time. It's not a quick fix. It's a process. But if they're willing to put in the work, they can build a team that can compete for championships. Now, let's talk about the Miami Heat. They're a team that's always looking to improve, always looking for an edge. They're a team that's built on toughness, grit, and hard work. But even they have to know that trading for LaMelo is a gamble. They're giving up a lot of assets for a player who's still relatively unproven. They're betting that LaMelo can be the missing piece that takes them to the next level. But there are no guarantees in the NBA. And let's be real, Miami already has a solid core. They have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and a winning culture. Do they really need to shake things up? Do they really need to risk their future for a player who might not fit their system? I'm not saying LaMelo wouldn't be a good fit in Miami. He's a talented player who can play in any system. But I'm saying that the Heat need to be careful. They need to weigh the risks and rewards before making a move. The Hornets, on the other hand, need to be smart. They need to realize that LaMelo is their most valuable asset. They need to build around him, not trade him away. Look, I get it. The NBA is a business. Teams are always looking for ways to improve. But sometimes the best move is to stand pat. Sometimes the best move is to trust your star player and build around him. The Hornets have a chance to build something special. They have a chance to create a winning culture, but they need to be patient, they need to be smart, and they need to believe in LaMelo Ball. Trading him would be a mistake. It would be a surrender. It would be a sign that the Hornets have given up on their future. And that, my friends, would be a damn shame. Now let's look at the actual basketball side of things. LaMelo's game is built on creativity and vision. He can make passes that most players can only dream of. He can create his own shot off the dribble. He can score in a variety of ways. But he needs help. He needs teammates who can finish his passes, knock down open shots, and play some defense. He needs a system that allows him to thrive. The Hornets have failed to provide him with that. They've surrounded him with players who don't complement his skills. They've put him in a system that doesn't maximize his potential. They need to change that. They need to find a coach who can design a system that fits LaMelo's game. They need to find players who can complement his skills. And they need to be patient. Building a winning team takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. But if they're willing to put in the work, they can build a team that can compete for championships. Let's talk about the fans. The fans in Charlotte deserve a winning team. They've been through a lot of losing seasons. They've seen their team trade away their best players. They deserve a team that they can be proud of. They deserve a team that can compete for championships. LaMelo Ball is that player. He's the guy who can bring excitement back to Charlotte. He's the guy who can make the Hornets relevant again. But the Hornets need to give him a chance. They need to build around him. They need to give him the tools to succeed. And if they do, they'll be rewarded. They'll have a team that can compete for years to come. Now let's address the elephant in the room, LaMelo's injuries. He's had some injury issues in his career, but every player has injuries. It's part of the game. The Hornets need to manage his workload. They need to make sure he's healthy and ready to play. They need to build a team that can win without him if he's out. But they can't let his injuries scare them away. He's too talented to give up on. He's a special player, a generational talent. He's the kind of player that franchises are built around. The Hornets have a chance to build something special. They have a chance to create a winning culture. But they need to be patient, they need to be smart, and they need to believe in LaMelo Ball.
Hello, xin chào tất cả mọi người. Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn mọi người làm một chú thỏ màu hồng nha. Mọi người cùng bắt tay vào làm với mình nha. Đây là những dụng cụ mình đã chuẩn bị để mình làm nhé mọi người. Mọi người cùng bắt tay vào làm với mình nha. Đầu tiên là mình đã chuẩn bị một cái kéo. Tiếp theo 2 cây bút khác nhau. Tiếp đến là một tờ giấy A4 màu hồng. Mọi người cùng bắt tay vào làm với mình nha. Đầu tiên là mình sẽ gấp chéo tờ giấy lại nha. Mình sẽ gấp chéo tờ giấy lại. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ dùng kéo mình cắt nha. Mình đã gấp chéo được như này rồi nha. Tiếp theo là mình gấp vào như này tiếp. Mình sẽ tỏ ra. Mình sẽ gấp phần đầu này lên đây nha. Tiếp theo lại là phần này lên đây. Tiếp theo là mình tỏ ra nha. Mình sẽ gập phần này lên đây nha. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ gập từ đầu này vào đây nha. Tiếp theo là mình gập lên đây. Tiếp theo là mình gấp lên trên này nha.